We are back, my friend. Oh my gosh, I have so much to tell you about this past weekend. So we did it. Gunther and I did it. We went to our very first Wild Dogs Canine Escape Room Association, the introduction to this brand new dog sport. And I have to say, oh, well, I'm not going to say it now. I'm not going to say it now. You have to listen to the episode and find out, one, what it is, how we did, and all the juicy details, what you can take from my experience doing this kind of stuff, maybe some fun things you can do at home as well. Maybe we'll incorporate that in there. Why not? Let's talk about it all. If that's something you're interested in, you're here for a great episode. Let's get into it. Ready to have a calm and peaceful life with your dog without the stress of those fear-based behaviors? Hi, I'm Tracy, and I've been there. Overwhelmed by all the conflicting dog training advice and unsure of what to do next. But now I help dog lovers like you simplify your life with your dog by building confidence naturally, fostering trust, and addressing those fear-based challenges. So, if you're ready, stop chopping those chicken wieners and let's get to it. Hey there, friend. If you are somebody who, like me, knows deep down that there is something way more to just having a dog, owning a dog, training a dog. You feel that deep bond, that connection that you have. You feel like your dog seems to know you better than anyone else in the world, but you're tired of just doing the same old, the click and treat and repeat, or managing the behavior, or chasing the next technique, or trying to control every little thing your dog does. You know that there's something deeper available for you and your dog, a way to build more trust, maybe more understanding, and a connected life together. Then I want to invite you to come and join me inside the Fearless Framework. The Fearless Framework is my 12-month online coaching program where we dive deep into understanding behavior, but more importantly, we get to understand your dog, that beautiful dog that's in front of you right now, the dog you love more than anything. Together, we're going to explore how to build trust, connection, confidence, influence, and a relationship that makes, honestly, everything else easier. Because when you truly understand what's behind your dog's behavior, it starts to make sense. And when behavior makes sense, everything changes. You become less frustrated. You become more understanding, more patient, more confident. You stop second-guessing yourself because you know you have an inner knowing. And you start to have more brilliant days than bad ones. It's not a quick fix. Let me be clear. This isn't a 3 steps to stop your dog from barking kind of a thing. This is the missing piece, the thing that you've been looking for, that you couldn't quite put your finger on. This is it. All right, so come and check out the Fearless Framework, my friend. Head on over to beyondobedience.ca/fearless, and I'll see you there. Well, hello, my dog-loving friend. It is Tracy. Welcome to Beyond Obedience, the podcast. Super duper welcome if you are brand new. If you're brand new, hey, so glad that you are here. All right, friend, listen. I got some stories to tell you. All right, so if you hadn't heard, I signed Gunther and myself up for a brand new thing. Let me pull it back up again because I want to kind of read some of the stuff that's in it because it's super cool. So I think they're pronouncing it WCERA, like CERA. They're not pronouncing the W. I don't know exactly. I don't know. But anyway, Wild Dogs Canine Escape Room Association. I think this might be the first one in Canada. Is it the first one in Canada? I don't know. Anyway, it was something that immediately caught my attention. And I was like, I got to do this thing. So it was an introduction to this brand new sport. And the following is an overview of the games we will be focusing on for this introduction. So first game was called Lock and Key. Your dog searches for scented keys hidden around the room so you can unlock locks and escape before the time runs out. Puzzled. Dogs locate scented puzzle pieces while handlers work to solve the puzzle before the clock expires. Oh wait, I'll tell you in a minute. Hold on a second. I gotta take a drink. And I smashed my mic. Very unprofessional. Okay, Breakout. A physical challenge game where handlers solve clues to direct their dogs through correct obstacle sequences. Think tunnels, platforms, mats, planks, and interactive obstacle choices. Why did I think Gunther and I would be good at this? Pirate Ship. This is a retrieval-based game where your dog retrieves tools or objects while navigating the plank to help free you from pirates. Trailbound is an outdoor adventure-style game where the dog searches for quarry or rats while handlers locate lost items on the trail. It combines hunting instincts, teamwork, and environmental problem solving. Okay. So that's what we signed up for. And oh my gosh, first and foremost, shout out to Alice from Blue Nose Rat Sports for not only hosting and putting this on and training and teaching, but just being an advocate for this kind of thing for dogs and handlers. I think the reason why I was so excited about this is because this checks all the boxes for me when it comes to building a bond and a relationship and all of the things that we talk about here in the podcast. This idea that you're going to partner with the dog to help solve a puzzle or a problem. What? Get out of here. Like, it checks all the boxes. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I will say this. Honest review of the performance by Team Gunther and Tracy, who I fondly called Team Perfectly Imperfect. If I were to rate our performance, I would say we were enthusiastic. I was more enthusiastic than Gunther. I carried the enthusiasm, wand, like I was the baton, whatever. That was me. I was like there for the enthusiasm. Gunther was there for the actual problem solving and really, honestly, carried the team, which I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to explain to you what happened, because I think we need to, first of all, let's set the stage. Gunther has done no things. And I mean like no things in terms of he's never done scent work at all. Certainly has not done ratting or rat work. And he has zero obedience skills. So, I mean, and he did better than me. Let's call a spade a spade. He did better than I did. I really dropped the ball on the human equation of puzzle solving and reading. That's where things fell apart for us. Okay, so I'll set the scene for you a little bit, because I think there's a lot of learning that happened inside this experience. And the first thing was, as you know, or maybe you don't know, if you're brand new, you might not know this, Gunther came into my life, and shortly after we got him, my dog Nigel got very, very sick. I was literally his caretaker for a few months while we were trying to have him recover. He ended up having a splenectomy and all of these things. So there was a lot. And so I had taken that on, which meant that Gunther's socialization, training, all of the things got put on the side burner. And then unfortunately, Nigel didn't make it. And I went through a stage of grief where I also just didn't want to do anything. Honestly, didn't know how I was going to raise Gunther. The whole idea of me getting Gunther when I got Gunther was that Nigel was supposed to be his role model dog. And I was like, now I have to do it? Like, I'm not qualified. So all of that to say that, I didn't get out to do the things that I wanted to do with him. And just give me a second. I'm going to pause 1 second because I just need to take a drink. Hold on. Apologies. Okay. All of this to say, I want this actually to be a, I guess a permission slip to know that if that happened to you, if you had that dog, maybe you had a COVID dog that didn't get out socializing or whatnot, this is your permission slip to be okay with it, that all is not lost if that is the case for you. And one of the things and the reasons why I was like, Gunther can go and do this and try this was one, it was brand new. So there would be no experts there, but also the fact that I am confident that Gunther is an optimistic dog. Gunther walks through life. He knows that I've got his back. He knows that I'm there to support him. He does turn to me for guidance and stuff, all of that sort of thing. But generally speaking, this is a very optimistic dog. He's had an expansive life. It's not that he was stuck indoors and didn't do anything. He's lived with other dogs. He plays with other dogs. He lives on a farm. He's got 44 acres. Like the dog, he's not hurting in that regard. It's just, we didn't go out and do the things that I would normally do with my dogs. So I knew that he would be able to go through this. And if you're a student of the Fearless Framework, and we're going to talk more about that during our Q&A, our Zoom call this month. But if you're a student of the Fearless Framework, you know that I talk about this idea about allowing the dogs to process their environment and just let them do the work, be there as the support, not coddle them through it and not race them through it. Then the reason why I say this is because, and this was through no fault of either the event or, okay, it's my fault. Let me just put it this way. This was my fault. Knowing the things that I know, I should have showed up a little bit earlier. Now, they had asked that we don't show up too much earlier because there was groups going. So there was a morning group. I was the afternoon group, and then I think there was another group later on. But I should have at least shown up in the area and then walked the dog a little bit or something. That was my bad. And the reason why I say that is because Gunther does need to take in his environment, and he takes a little bit more time, but he is always curious, and he stays in the moment. He doesn't flee the moment. He stays in the moment. And this is some of the things that we have done with him, before Nigel had passed. And so he knows that. He knows that if something is unsure to him, he can just stand and be in that moment and know that I'm there to support him if he needs it. And so where I sort of went wrong was I didn't show up early enough to give him that space and time to do that. So when we first got there, we left the dogs in the car. We were then shown how to do the scent thing. I got to go home with a scent kit to practice scenting. Oh, it was so cool. Anyway, so they were showing, because I've never done anything like this. So they were showing how, Alice was showing how she teaches it and using the PVC tubing and all this stuff. It was really cool. However, when I went to get Gunther to do it, he was not there. He was not there. And I don't, as you know, I don't use a lot of treats, but I will use treats to train this kind of stuff if that's what's recommended, because I'm not an expert on this. I don't know this. So I was using treats. I was trying to get him engaged. He was eating the treats, but it was like, I would equate it to, when you're watching a movie and you're just eating popcorn and your hand is just automatically just taking the popcorn and shoving your face. It was like that. I could tell he wasn't getting it, first of all, and he was taking the food, but not engaged at all. And then, Alice noticed that we were struggling, so she brought us into the little building. She's like, maybe try over here. She was, showing me different ways to hold the tube. It really wasn't working. He was just like, everything was so, he wasn't freaking out. He was just, everything was so environment, like what is going on? There were dogs there. There was all sorts of stuff. So even got to the point where she was like, get his ball out and try to play ball with him. And he didn't want to play ball. And I'm like, if he doesn't want to play ball and he's not really taking the treats, like he's just not in it. And so the scent part, the prepping him for the scent was, in my opinion, didn't happen. Like he wasn't getting it. And so I decided to like stop sort of sticking his nose in the tube and being like, smell the thing, and I decided to just sit in the grass sort of in the back and let him just kind of take everything in. And I was very intentional about that. Now, again, if you're a student in the Fearless Framework, we talk about understanding threat levels and whatnot. So where I place my back, how I place myself matters. What position my body is in matters. And it would change depending on what dogs were moving where. If you want to start to really understand this sort of stuff, I'm telling you, come and play with me in the Fearless Framework. Come play with me inside this program, friend. Because this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, right? It's not about the leash work or the corrections or talking to him or bribing him or any of that stuff. It was literally me going, what is the best way to place my body to support you right now, currently in this environment? And he doesn't have to be looking at me. He doesn't have to be doing the things like taking my food or any of that stuff. I know he knows my presence is there. Where do I need to be in this environment to make him know that he is supported? That's what I did. So it looked as though I was disengaged from the event at first, but I had to honor my dog and not my social need to feel accepted in the moment, which is hard for us, right? It's very, very hard for us. So we did that for a little bit, but lo and behold, they knew that Gunther didn't really know the things. All they were looking for was that he would relax enough to start sniffing and exploring inside the escape room. They told me where the scent was, so I could kind of be like, I could tap the thing and be like, what's over here? And then the moment that he showed any interest, we rewarded him. It was so nice because everybody cheered for him. Everybody was rooting for Team Gunther. They were like, maybe not Team Tracy, but Team Gunther 100%. They were like, he did it. I was like, yeah, he's awesome. So, and then here's where it all fell apart for us. And hear me out, okay? Because the puzzle part for this was like a child's puzzle. It was like a 5-piece puzzle of a crab. So the first level, which they called the nursery level, there was only the one scent in the room that he could find. I could tap at it, all things. He got it pretty quickly. Celebrations all around. I go over to the puzzle. I have to put the puzzle together. That's the only thing that gets us out of this escape room. And I'm like, no problem. This is a crab. I can clearly see that. I put those together. Bob's your uncle. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm out of there. We escaped the room. Applause all around. Congratulations. We're winners. Next thing you know, they're like, okay, we're going to try level 1. And I was like, oh, I thought I already won that game. So level 1 comes up, and now there's 2 different things that could be the scent. For Gunther, they did tell me where it was because they're like, he's new to scent, so we know he will always win this game. And I was like, good for him, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly it. And I'm thinking, I got this because I already figured out the puzzle, so this is going to be easy. Gunther finds the scent. I look over. It's not a crab anymore. What? Why'd you change the puzzle? Now it's a harder puzzle. I can't even tell what it's supposed to be. I'm like, it was like a tugboat or something. And I'm not lying. This is no joke, friend. This is no joke. I couldn't figure it out. And I started to have social anxiety panic. How do I not know how to put a tugboat together? I was telling my daughter this story. She's like, well, in your defense, maybe you've never seen a tugboat. And I'm like, that's not the point, Paisley. Oh, that's not it. That's not the point. It was a puzzle for a toddler. I didn't get it. They legitimately had to be like, Tracy, turn the puzzle piece the other way. And I'm like, what? They're like, no, it goes up and down, not side to side. And I was like, oh, like, anyway. Gunther really carried the weight of this team. So that was the first experience. The next one was the lock and key. It was a similar thing. We had to find the scent, and then I had to find a treasure chest and then open it with a key. It was pretty fun. He did pretty well with that. I did okay with that as well. I mean, I couldn't get the lock in right away because I didn't put my glasses on. I mean, this is what I'm saying. The dog was like, come on, human, get it together. Like, what is wrong with you? And then for my final mess up of the day, the breakout room was you had to solve a puzzle. And in that puzzle, like in that word puzzle, the word that was missing was what you needed the dog to do. I don't want to get into it. I mean, I'm just gonna. I'm not one to argue, but if I'm being real, I think the puzzle word could have been taken a number of ways. Let's just leave it at that. The point is, we escaped. We won. And then he got to find a rat. Oh gosh, it was so cute. It was so cute. Anyway, I don't even remember. I just started telling this story. I don't even remember what was the point of my. Let me get back to the point. The point is. The point is, within that moment, there were so many opportunities there for me to practice the, everything that we teach inside the Fearless Framework, this idea of how do I be the person that you need to support. And he did so well. I mean, he did so well, considering too, there was a dog that was reactive, that was lunging at him. So like every time he came around the car, if the one dog was out, he would like lunge at the end of his leash. And even that, Gunther just kind of took a moment to take it all in. Like he was absolutely brilliant. The other thing too that was really remarkable to observe and to watch as he did things was to watch how the patterns formed and how quickly he picked up on patterns, because we did the games in the same order. So the same dog that would lunge at him always went before us. And I would, like, my car was parked pretty close and it was a nice day, like cool wise. It wasn't actually a nice day. It was kind of rainy and cold, but it was nice for the dogs because it wasn't too hot. But after we would get done, we would have our little celebration. And then I would take him back to my van and he would get into the van and he'd lie down and he'd wait there just really, really patiently. And he started to know as soon as the corgi was done, he got the pattern that he was like, now it's my turn. And he would get out. And it got to the point too, where he actually stopped even caring or flinching when he would go into the room where the escape rooms were and the corgi was coming out and the corgi would bark at him. He was just like, meh. And he walked right by. Like by the time he was done, like the multiple rotations that we did, because in most of the games we did 2 levels. Like we did nursery and then level 1. And so we had an opportunity to like practice these things 10 times. So within a very short amount of time, he figured out the order. He figured out when he was supposed to get out of the van, when he was supposed to go back to the van. And he even stopped being at all concerned about the corgi that kept lunging at him every single time we walked in. How remarkable was that? Like, if you think about it from a perspective of how he processed things, how he learned, and how I supported him through it. Now, I will say this. I was also very cautious about that corgi. I'm sure the corgi was a nice dog. Don't get me wrong, but I'm no shade at the corgi. The corgi obviously has some issues that he needs to work through. I should have given them my card, been like, have you listened to my podcast? But I made sure that I positioned myself in between him and the corgi every single time. So Gunther started to see, okay, she's got that. I can keep going forward. He has to take in so many other things. I'm going to take the number one threat. Like, I'm going to position myself at the number one threat, which is the corgi that's lunging at you. And we're just going to keep going in. And the bigger thing here is that I didn't make a big deal about it. I didn't make a big deal about it. I was just like, yep, that's the corgi. Like, we started to get to be like, he started to have that as his signal of, this means that it's almost like, oh, the corgi lunged at me, it's go time. Like, he made those associations all on his own. So that it was an incredible opportunity for me to, one, try something new, embarrass myself at my lack of ability to do puzzles for 3-year-olds, and also to be able to, practice being the support that he needs and getting to see him do the things. Like, not only did he do the scent work, did he find the rat? Did he, he stood on a platform. He went over a little jump. He did get his ball, the pirate ship thing, that you send the dog down a plank. We didn't have a plank for nursery, but you send them down a plank to get a ball. And then they have to bring the ball back to your hand or close enough to you so that you can untie your ropes and free yourself. And he did that. I didn't think he would, honestly, because I've never taught him stationary, stand here while the ball is out there and then go get it and then bring it to me. He's always just done fetch. So I found an area for which I can improve, like something else I can do with him. So here's what I want you to take home from all of this, besides my experience of me just being like, it's so much fun. If you get the opportunity, if you have something around you and you have the opportunity to do this, I highly, highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. If you're somebody that is local to me and listening to the South Shore or in the South Shore, Nova Scotia, and you're wondering about this, it is Blue Nose Rat Sports. Let me find it again, make sure I'm saying it right. Blue Nose Rat Sports, and Alice is her name. She is amazing, and we had oh my gosh, we had so much fun. Highly, highly recommend it. It is such a team building thing, and I couldn't be happier with it. And fun. And I wasn't the only human that didn't pull their weight. Let me just put that out there. And the really nice thing about it is it does take all the pressure off the dog, right? Like, it's not just the dog that has to perform to get this. Like, you actually also have to perform and do puzzles for 3-year-olds and know what a tugboat looks like, for the love of... Oh, good. Anyway, here's what I want you to take away from that. So if you have an opportunity, do it. But you can also you can incorporate these type of things into your fun, like your stuff that you do with the dog. I was listening to her talking about where this came from, and apparently it was created by somebody that had to do, I think she said physiotherapy, like something happened. She had to do physiotherapy and brain work or something, and it was boring. So she created these exercises that she could do with her dogs. So cognitive and physical therapy for herself, but also for her dog. And that's where this all came to be. So I don't know if that's lore, if I made that up, or if I heard the story right, but that's pretty awesome. So what you can do from this is you can take, from this, and you can incorporate your own kind of games. You can incorporate your own kind of fun, but it kind of lets you think outside the box a little bit in ways that you can build that partnership, right? This idea that the two of you have to work together. It really is the essence of getting everything back to the core of what our relationship with dogs started out with, like many, many moons ago. I still don't have the stats on that. I really should get them. If I'm going to keep saying it, I really should get the stats on it. But anyway, that was it. That was our fun. I don't even think I got to the point of what this episode was supposed to be. I think I was going to talk about fulfillment and exercise, and instead went on this whole other tangent. Because I will say that knocked him out. Like, he could barely keep his eyes open on the way home. And here's the thing, he did nothing physical. I don't even think that dog's heart rate ever got up over, resting or a little bit more. I mean, he was probably excited, so his heart rate got up for that. But I mean, there was no exercise and a lot of downtime in between our turns. And he was knackered. Like, he was out of it. He was so exhausted. So think of how much learning, how much exploring, how much confidence he built in just this little tiny session. So anyway, shout out to Blue Nose Rat Sports and Alice. Thank you so much for bringing this to the South Shore. I am looking forward to doing more and more of that. If you want more information about that, please be sure to check out Blue Nose Rat Sports on Facebook. She's got a Facebook page as well as a group. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So I think I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. If you can figure out ways to add fun little escape room games to your day, be sure to go over to the Living Beyond Obedience group, the Facebook group, and share it over there. What's your escape room plans? Like, what do you have any? Like, let's do this thing. We could come up with things. Apparently, I just read on the main WCERA site that she actually has 20 different games she's come up with for this. We just started with the first 5, but she's come up with like 20 different games. So if she can come up with 20 games, I'm sure we can too. All right, friend, that is it for me for today. Listen, if you like this sort of thing, be sure to head over to Apple, leave me a 5-star written review. It really helps put the podcast out to more and more people. And if you're on Spotify, follow me over there. Give me a subscribe. Leave me a comment. As always, my dog-loving friend, get out there today and be the person that your dog thinks you are, because your dog thinks that you're amazing, and so do I. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. This podcast is meant for entertainment and education purposes only and is not meant to replace hands-on professional training. If you're really struggling with dangerous behavior with your dog, please reach out to a professional in your area. All right, I think that's it. Bye for now.